So I was taking a walk the other day, actually this morning in 30-degree weather because something wrong with me. Um, you know, I got this hotline bling on my cell phone, and it says something along the lines of Dan Quinn is gonna be the next interview for the Cowboys. He's gonna show up and interview for the vacant defensive coordinator position. Cool. I'm gonna talk about Dan Quinn a little bit, but can I just say like how upset I was when I saw the first two reports when it was like, oh, we're gonna interview the Falcons quarterback coach because he McCarthy homeboy, and then another one was like, oh, we're gonna look up we're gonna call the Panthers DB coach because he used to be McCarthy homeboy. You know what I'm saying? And I was just I was I was befuddled. You know what I mean? Like I was like, man, are we going down this same road again? You know what I mean? Like, can we not just get the best guy? Do we have to get the best guy that's cool with Mike? Now, if Mike wants to, give his homeboy some interviews just to kind of get him in the door, all right, cool. Like, be the boss and interview your homeboys and get them in the door. But push their asses out the way so that we can get the real defensive coordinator job search going. You know what I mean? I don't want this to be like a situation where, oh, we interviewed Mike McCarthy 5 minutes later. We hired Mike McCarthy. I want this to be a situation where we really find out who's the best guy, and then we just boogie with that person, Long story short, so Dan Quinn, right? Former head coach of the Falcons, he just got fired or whatever because they was looking pretty rough on defense over there. They were looking rough on defense over there. And he's probably gonna get most of his big credit from being the orchestrator over in that Super Bowl Seattle Seahawks situation. Now, granted, we ain't got the players that they had in that Seattle situation over there, but we're built a bit differently. We're not a situation where we're counting on defense to be amazing. We just need defense to not be the worst defense we've ever seen in our life, even if we end up like middling in the league. And I've said this before, I don't want to just keep beating on his drum or whatever, but if Dan Quinn is a guy that can get this defense from 32nd to 15th, he's done his job. And then we're going to do the best we can at just giving him players to make that better. So what I did was, because I wasn't even going to make this video, I was going to sit around and be lazy today and do some film on Patreon and, just drop some miscellaneous college stuff. That's what I was going to do. But I was like, okay, well, if Dan Quinn is going to be somebody that we're considering, then let me get a good idea of who Dan Quinn is and just like what did they do on defense in particular. And I pulled a handful of clips, not even like videos, because we know that they're cover 3 team, right? Like we know what they did. I want to know what their front looked like. So I pulled some clips of what their front looked like. So a look that I saw the most was this look here, and it's kind of like an underlook. What happens is you will shift the D line towards the strength. In this particular case, it'll be the offensive right, defensive left, and then you'll just kind of have this backside linebacker who's very interesting. That's Bruce Irvin. He's interesting in this situation because of Cowboy personnel, and then you'll have linebacker here and here. Now, what's so interesting about this look and how this works is that normally Sam linebacker hangs out over the tight end, or the Sam strong linebacker hangs out over the strong side. What happens is like they'll just have their strong side defensive end 3 tech, 1 tech defensive end who's more of a head up on this tackle here, and then we'll have Bruce Irvin as an outside guy. So if you basically draw a line down the center, I'll do it if I feel like editing. What happens is you'll have a 4-3 on this side, kind of sort of technically, and then you'll have a 3-4, not really, kind of sort of quasi on this side. I mean, if this 1 tech was more of a head up shade over this center, then it'll probably look more like a 3-4. But he's in this 1 tech situation because that's just where we at. So what this gives you the ability to do, instead of having a Sam linebacker who would be just like a linebacker, you get a rush end standing up. So in my mind, this could be a situation that looks like, D-Law strong side. You could put a guy like Alden Smith. I don't think Alden Smith is going to be back, but you can put a guy like Alden Smith head up over this tackle here, or you can draft a 3-4 D end, put him head up over this guy since you want to play Doran so bad, put him there, and then you get a guy like Randy Gregory standing up on the outside that's able to give you some rush also. I think that's very interesting in terms of how we can line guys up. I don't know what linebacker is going to be here by the time this thing gets done, and we don't even know if Dan Quinn is even going to be here, right? I'm just giving you, giving you information if Dan Quinn does end up being the guy. It'll be linebacker 1 and linebacker 2, whoever those people may be. I like this look in particular because it gives us the opportunity to give 3-4 elements to where we have more athletes on the field, kind of, sort of, technically, but we remain a one gapping system, kind of, sort of, to where this 3 tech, this front side defensive end, this 1 tech, they're all one gap responsibility guys. That'll make these linebackers one gap responsibility guys. But then we also can give us some good designated pass rusher, numbers or whatever, just to have an extra guy pass rushing. And then we have this full-blown 3-4 look, right? And I don't mind this at all, right? And first of all, what makes it a 3-4? You have your nose and you have your 220 backers. That's what makes this 3-4. You have these other situations where you got guards covered and these linebackers outside or whatever, but that doesn't matter in terms of identifying front. I'll do a video later if you ask me to. But the fact that we have a 0 and 220 backers is enough information to make this a 3-4. I don't mind this, right? And Mike Nolan did a lot of this too, right? To where he would be multiple. We'll just run multiple fronts, and sometimes we'll jam both fronts together. My problem is it just didn't work out for him. So if Gus, and to be fair, like a lot of DCs are going to have looks like this where they just run multiple fronts. You just want a situation where it works better, right? And if Gus is going to, come in and make things work better, it ain't got to be a whole lot better, but just a little bit better. Then I don't mind being a team that can run a little bit of both. But what's interesting is that the personnel doesn't change, right? To where if you bump, let's see, these 3 down linemen, right? If you bump them over 3 times and just bump these 3 over 1 time, then bring Bruce Irvin down into a, hands in the dirt situation, then you can go between 3-4 and 4-3 and not change personnel at all. I think that's fly. So if the Cowboys are in a situation to do that, I think that'll be a cool little thing. Also here, just like the Cowboys do, we'll play a little bit of both fronts, but we'll still have a nickel front, So we got 2 deep safeties here. Now, when I was watching Gus Bradley, or just when I was watching the Seahawks defense, I didn't get a whole bunch of cover 2 from them. We got a lot of too high. Meaning that we would show 2 high safeties, but at some point, one of these guys would walk down and do something, whether it be some kind of run responsibility, they'll drop to the flats, they'll stay hook and curl, whatever it is. Like it never ended up staying 2 guys, right? But there was situations where we ran some nickel and the Cowboys played some nickel. So you're going to need nickel corners in this defense if Gus ends up being the guy. All right, you got Cam Chancellor here, walk down in the box, whatever. He's this guy right here. You got Cam Chancellor there, like, I would say patrolling the outside of the box. We see Donovan do a lot of things like this, but then you also see this where Cam is in the box, but Cam is in the box for real, like in these linebacker spots here. Cam is there. Okay, cool. Had to put my mouse in the right spot. Yes, Cam is in the box for real. So I just think these are all interesting looks, but ladies and gentlemen, like these are looks that we're familiar with already. So that kind of made me have some optimism in the way that, hey man, if we bring in Gus Bradley to do different things with this defense, the scheme or structure won't change very much. Play calling and responsibilities and mentality and things like that, if that changes, then good. But the actual scheme, there's not going to be just this big retooling of defense. What'll happen is when you push Mike Nolan off a bridge and you'll bring in Gus, there's not just some big ass culture shock of a change. We're still going to run relatively some of the same things. We'll just run some of those things with a little bit of bop in them. All right. So with that being said, I mean, how do I feel about potentially bringing Gus Bradley up in here? Shit, if it works. That's what I'm saying about all these guys, right? Because I'm not even defense guy to where I like defense like that. I nerd out over offense, and I only tolerate defense enough to be able to attack it. But like I said, man, this offense is gonna lead the way. You know, we just need the rest of these guys to not get us killed on the back end. But that's all I got, man. Just a quick video, relatively quick. I don't know how long this thing's gonna be. I'm gonna be watching film later on the Patreon. Y'all tune into that, and we may do a live stream or something for the YouTube Lombardi's Draft Talk, just to get y'all ready for the college football playoffs. All right, y'all hold it down for the Doski Woski, man. See you later.